Well, let's see. I think that we have the audio working now. Let me see if I can pull up the chat, redo the chat here. Where is my chat room? We've got, so let's see. Let me pull up the chat room. All right, guys. We're actually really back now, I think. Let me try this too. We've got to fix this. Hey, it's the... Let's try and fix this shit. There we go. What is up? Okay, guys. Do we have some sound now? Lance, do I have sound? Woohoo. Yes. Well. Yeah, no, Timmy, this is... I left that thing behind. I'm supposed to get a phone call from him. Ken wanted to jump on and be admin. He's got control issues. So he wanted to be admin. So he logged in as admin. I logged in as admin, and it threw us both off. So we kept getting kicked out of the stream. So it wasn't working too good. Drink that coffee down. Actually, it's not coffee. It's tea. I'm drinking herbal teas these days. All right. Ahoy. Hey, I can hear. Yes. Yay. Sound. It works. Well, welcome everybody to the captain's quarters. This is the new studio. I kind of showed it the other day on the FN Hangout where we had even more technical difficulties. I think I'm getting this OBS thing down though, and we're going to be using it because, hey, the video works better. I don't know if we need to see me any clearer. That doesn't make sense to me, but okay, if it makes the production quality good, then great. This is the new motif. We got some more signs and stuff coming. But hey, man, I just wanted to jump on stream real quick just to talk to the Hexicans, just to talk to you guys, because man, what an awesome group of people we have. What a bunch of good what a good example of a true crypto community. You guys have all stepped up to the plate, and I really want to do shout outs to all of the people building things for the Hex community, all the people that are making other projects. I don't speak about them enough, and there's good reason. And I want to talk about that a little bit tonight and tell you why the captain doesn't speak of these things and kind of give you a little history, tell you where I stand. But I do want to give props to all of these guys. Like, there's two projects right now that I'm looking at really closely and watching what they're doing because I think there's value. Now, I can't prove them. They can't be proven until they prove themselves. But we'll get into that in a minute. First of all, let me say hello to you guys, because that's what I'm really here for, is to tell you guys how awesome. Timmy B. So Timmy B, OG of the OGs. Got to meet Timmy, a handful of times. We've been out partying in Vegas and Arizona and all over the place, eating dinner and having fun. What a great Hexican he is. Always supporting everybody, always there in the chat rooms, and just a good good custodian of Hex and its tenets, I guess you can call it. Its tenets. And those tenets are those things that we've learned from Richard over the last 2 years, and what crypto should be about. And what I'd like to kind of focus on is what the community is doing and what crypto was meant to be. So way back when, for those of you who don't know my history, I got into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies before Bitcoin was around. I was in this chat room. Now, these are old chats. They used to have chat rooms called the IIRC, and it was literally text prompt. You just texted one another. There was no fancy UI or anything like that, and there was no cool stuff to, no cool features. It was literally just text chat, and it was like DOS prompt text. It was really old stuff, but that's how in the gaming community everybody communicating with each other is with these IRC channels. And within those channels were a lot of different subgroups. So this was like the beginning of the Reddit type stuff and whatnot. So back in those days, there were people shilling cryptocurrencies to gaming companies. I had a gaming company at the time. We supported a game called Counter-Strike. And back in those days, they were trying to get cryptocurrencies in games. And that's like how people like Brock Pierce got very, very wealthy. I think he put games in or put cryptocurrency in World of Warcraft and some things like that. It was like the beginning stages before Bitcoin came out. And then I'd say right around 2009, they started these Bitcoin forums and the IRC chat channels. And we never really thought anything of it because these guys were always hitting us up, trying to get us to put cryptocurrency in the gaming platforms. And just kind of blew it off. And then it launched. We remember when they launched Bitcoin, it was Bitcoin. It was like, oh, it's kind of a PayPal deal, whatever. And as time went by, it was really quiet, in the early days, unless you were like really involved, I guess, like Richard was and those folks. There was really nothing going on. Left channel audio only. Let me see. Well, I that might be you. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to call it good at one channel of audio because I'm kind of tired of fucking with it right now. But anyway, let me close this out. I'm in there too. That might have messed it up a little. I don't know. So these talk forums were they were all excited about what they were doing, but none of us other folks were. And in 2013, 2014, somewhere around there, I think it was 2014, somebody asked me for some Bitcoin. And I said, oh, that PayPal bullshit? Yeah. So you got to go on, you got to get this wallet set up. And I did all of it. And I went and got some Bitcoin and figured it all out. And it was a big pain in the ass. And so I sent the guy some Bitcoin. And think nothing of it. It was like $35 left in the wallet after I sent him what he wanted. And then put it away, didn't think nothing of it. Then I'd say about a year later, 2015, another cat asked me for some Bitcoin. So I said, oh, I think I got that wallet still. I went in there, opened it up. And when I opened it up, there was $800 in there. And I knew there was only like $35 in there. So I was like, okay, what the hell is going on with this thing? So that's when I started getting into those chat rooms and going back and looking at history. And I went apeshit nuts just reading and learning and trying to figure out what it was that this Bitcoin thing was trying to do. And what I found is that these people had some highfalutin idea that they were going to change the fiat currency's world. They were going to come in and disrupt the whole fucking thing, slap banks in the face, and bring real money to the table. And all these things I read was like all these cypherpunks and all this stuff. And this was cool shit. This was pirate ass shit right here, right? I thought these guys are fucking gonna freaking slap finance right in the face. And then I saw articles about people talking about banking the unbanked and programming money and fixing inflation. And I mean, I got a freaking crypto hard on, man. I was like, this can change the world, and that was back in 2015. So I was this guy that was, always trying to find something to get me out of the predicament I was in. Because for those of you who don't know my story, I was a millwright by trade. So I was a worker dude. I mean, I drove big trucks and I built heavy machinery, and and I did that since 1990. 80, 89, 90. Off and on, I did a couple other things in between. I worked for a radio station. I did work for a big telecom company. Did sales and worked in telecom. That's kind of where I got my crypto teeth cut, because the tech people I was around actually introduced me to it. I'm not a techie guy. I've always was interested and intrigued in computers and stuff. But I've never, I grew up in a different era than a lot of you folks have. It was real tough to deal with computers when I was younger. It was, floppy disks and all that fucking stupid shit. So computers weren't really that fun. I mean, our first computers were Commodore 64s with fucking tape, like cassette tapes. That was the data collection. But anyway, so that was my history. I was really a worker guy. And, but I was always looking for something else. I wanted something else to get me out of the predicament I was in, because I have a big family, and wife stayed at home. So I worked, my life away for that, and always had to have a side gig on top of working, 12, 14, 16-hour days, 6-7 days a week. So my side gig was always these computer cool things. I love doing stuff like that, marketing, all these, then crypto came around. I was just like buried in it, man. I was buried. But what happened was I got a head full of all this cool crypto, cypherpunk shit, and I didn't see any of it. I didn't see what these guys were talking about, because everything was bullshit. Everything was crap. Everything was promises. Everything was just junk, and I tried to get excited about things, and they always let me down. Always, this guy's project and that guy's project. And I was in these cool freaking rooms, and they all turned into like pump and dumps. Yeah, out your ear. Okay, what? I don't know if I'm clipping or what, guys. I'm trying. Let's see. Let me lower the volume a little bit here. Don't want to kill you guys. How's that? Any better or what? Any better? Only a couple people complain. Maybe you just need to turn your shit down a little bit. I don't know. I'm not trying to yell or anything. I mean, come on, you guys have heard me yell, right? I'm not yelling. So, but anyway, the whole crypto space was full of scumbags and really, really smart guys. So I saw these guys. It sounds worse now. Sounds good to me. I'm going to ignore you guys. So anyway, I saw guys like Vitalik and people that I thought were smart. Some of them even acted like they were very, very smart. They end up not being. So I started getting interested in these guys, and then I watched the people that were leading them around, and they were scumbags, and they were, like freaking syndicated through China, and they were syndicated through this other thing and this and that. And then I even watched one of my own friends set up a mining operation and scam out on everybody. Just created a shit coin. He was talking proof of stake, and this was years ago. This was in 2017 when, right before the big pump, he was talking proof of stake. And that was really intriguing to me, was proof of stake. I was like, okay, is this the thing that is going to take us to the next level? Is it proof of stake that's going to get us out of this Bitcoin bullshit? Is this going to take us away? And so I went to Thailand, and I went and looked at his operation and everything, and I didn't know a lot about custody at that time, custodial wallets and those things, and the crypto that this guy created didn't have a wallet. It was an ERC20 token, but didn't have a way for you to move it into a wallet yet. So maybe it wasn't an ERC20. Maybe he was just freaking blowing smoke up everybody's ass. I don't know. But anyway, he was blowing smoke up everybody's ass, because he ended up walking and left with everybody's money. Now, I watched all of the BitConnects, what was it, MEI? Was it MEI? Or I can't remember. There's RSI, so many of them, so many of these cloud mining operations that were saying, oh, they had these R bots that were going to go out and trade for you, and oh, you're going to buy, mining space and blah, 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 and all these things just to make you feel like you were getting involved in crypto, because everybody wanted to be, we all wanted to be part of this revolution and part of this whole thing, but nobody was letting anybody in on what it was that they were doing. They were all behind closed doors, just fucking, they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know. And, and people didn't know Solidity well enough, so they were fucking that up too. I remember when Richard was talking shit about Ethereum, back in the early days, and come to find out it wasn't, Ethereum that was wrong. Vitalik did a really good job with, the programming language. And I mean, so I'm going to explain it like in layman's terms, what it means. So we all know, and we've heard the term spaghetti code. So Bitcoin proved a concept that you can spend cryptocurrency and trade it peer-to-peer, virtually and securely. That's all it did. It proved that. Now, it did it with this old horrible code. And I know nothing about coding or spaghetti code or what it means, but from what I understand and from what I've read and from what I've seen is that there's been 30 bugs in Bitcoin. There's been over 30 of them, somewhere around there. And every time they kind of unpeel it to try and do something to it or add something to it or make a feature for it, they find a bug. And they found 3 inflation bugs during this time because of that code. So nobody wants to dick with it. Literally nobody wants to dick with the Bitcoin code or any of the shit that's going on in there. So they steer clear, right? And for all good reason. It sucks. It's old tech. It's bad tech. And it shouldn't be called tech. It deserves its rightful place in the annals of history. And that's just it, And it proved a concept. But then Ethereum came out and proved the other concept that we can program this shit to do what we want. So now we can actually program cryptocurrencies, something that can be traded peer-to-peer without any middlemen. We could program them to do functions, features, make better money. And now that was very, very intriguing. However, even though Solidity was built right, and the way I explain it is, like we have that spaghetti code and there's all these different features and functions intertwined with it, and to try and peel it apart and fix things is just impossible. Imagine that, trying to, open up spaghetti and clean everything up and, But what Vitalik and Solidity did was they packetized all of the features and functions and put them in small, very, very easy to manage modules, I guess you'd call them. So you can plug and play them. A send feature, a receive feature, a staking feature, an inflation feature. All these things were built into this code. And I know that's a horrible explanation, but if you could wrap your head around that and just go, hey, Solidity just proved that you can program this stuff and do it easy. Now, at first, when Solidity first came out, these devs were fucking it up. They were programming it wrong. So they were plugging these things into each other backwards, the wrong ways, not plugging the right things in the middles, doing stuff like that. They were using the code, but they weren't using it correctly. So a lot of their cryptos failed. A lot of them ended up with bugs. And that gave, Ethereum that buggy, what do you call it? It had a name for itself for being buggy. And that wasn't really the truth. It was the programmers that were fucking up that made Ethereum buggy. And Richard so much has even said that later on. He said, hey, I changed my mind on Ethereum because it wasn't Ethereum that was the problem. Solidity is really good. It's really the people that were programming it. They didn't take the time to program it properly. So he did. He endorsed it, and hence here we are today with Hex. So what did Richard do? Now, in 2017, I was everybody at that point in 2017, you could throw a dart at the wall and pick a good crypto. It was like everything was going up, and if you had a handful of Bitcoin, you were doing really good. And anything else at that time was pumping and dumping and all that kind of stuff. So everybody was doing really, really good, and, so we rode that ride. And, even though I had a buddy that did his thing and scammed a bunch of people out, I did pretty good. And then the crash of 2018 came. And that was insane. I mean, we were all on our high horse. Everything seemed to be going good. And boom, the bottom dropped out from under us. And it was my first real dip, Oh, Dorsey said Verge. Yeah, man. I actually I gotta shout out to Verge because it actually saved my ass. I had a decent bag of crypto because of Verge. I caught that one. That was like my claim to fame in the trading world, was my Verge trade, and did extremely well. Diversified it into a bunch of shit coins and some Bitcoin, and ended up riding everything down to the bottom, right? And during that time, I was, everybody was into the YouTubers. We were all watching the YouTubers and what was happening. And there was this one guy, this one quirky dude with a top hat named Richard Hart, that I remember the night it happened. He went live and he said, "That's it. That's it. It's over. 3 years of bear market." And what he said resonated so hard with me and I was pissed. I fucking hated his fuck ass face at that point right there, right? I was like, this dude is spitting truth and I don't like it. And so rather than hate on him and be pissed, which I know a lot of people do, like, that's another thing. People just don't like being told the truth, especially when they're wrong, when they've like bet the whole farm on, the fact that Bitcoin's going to be around here forever, and I got news for you. It's not. It's garbage. And it's not the world's cryptocurrency. It's not. And it's proven itself not to be. Just because people buy it and the price goes up doesn't mean anything. I mean, look at Dogecoin, that's a piece of shit built on a piece of shit built on a piece of shit. And it went up in price. Why? Because we got a bunch of fucking idiots in this space. We got a bunch of jackasses that'll go out there and say anything to make a buck. And we've never done that here. I've never done that. I have never done that. I can still hold my head up high because all I've ever done is show hex. And that's why I want to talk to people about being careful about all these other projects that are out there. Now, do I have respect for these guys? These guys are hexicans, guys. I don't want to, definitely don't want anybody talking shit to them, and, I've heard some bad things about people coming after these guys building these other cryptos. And it's just not right. It's just not right. I don't endorse them, and it's not just because Richard won't endorse them. That's not why I don't endorse them. I've been through this game with other cryptocurrencies that have tried to be built on hex, and I watched a lot of people get wrecked, and a lot of people that aren't around anymore that I wish were around, but they left because they got wrecked in that whole thing. Now, is it their fault? Of course it is. But it's still, man, I mean, I don't think we should have dope dealers on the streets, on every corner, letting the kids get access to it, So I don't know. It's a slippery slope to even talk about that. But I mean, I don't endorse these things, but I watch them, and I do like the Liquid Loans guys. I do like them as hexicans. They're good people. I know that they're trying hard, and I know that they want to do something great, and it looks like they are. But until they've proven themselves, I'm not going to give them like a full endorsement, but I am rooting for them. And I'm excited about what they're doing. So For all of you who think, hey, the captain won't say anything, I do. I want to give them their props because they're working hard. And I know what it's like to work hard behind the scenes to try and get things done. It's not easy, guys. None of this stuff is easy. And that's just proof, though, of who we are. We are the community that actually has a cryptocurrency that we can get behind and go and do these types of things, because no other cryptocurrency community has ever had that. See, that's what crypto was supposed to be built, and the ancillaries or the products that were built on top of them were supposed to be backed because of how the strength of the crypto. So the communities were supposed to come, the DAOs were supposed to be created, the consensus was supposed to be made to get things done with a community that can get behind the crypto. But see, there's never ever been another crypto that a community can get behind. So there may have been some very, very strong communities out there. And I know there were. There was a lot of strong community that was built. Look, I mean, people are people. People in crypto especially, I know there's a lot of shitheads, and I know that there's a lot of traders and a lot of gamblers and a lot of degens and stuff out there. But there's people that truly want this shit to work. And there's a lot of them. And I know that they're passionate about how they feel about this. And so the Hex community isn't the community that has ever been built. And the Hex community is the best community only because of Hex. It's not the best community because we're just a bunch of badasses and cool people. No, we're just the same as a bunch of the other crypto people that wanted something good. We just happened to find the right fucking horse to get on and hooked up to our buggy, man. That's it. That's it. We got lucky. Now, did we listen to Richard Hart and what he was saying and something resonated with us and we're kind of a different breed cut from a different cloth? Yes. Yes, we are. Yes, you are. You all are. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why Hexicans are Hexicans. And it's not because we fawn all over Richard. And I really hate seeing these fucking assholes that get out there and start talking about us that way. Because that's not what it is. See, what you idiots fail to fucking realize is that this is how a passionate community comes together and gets behind a real cryptocurrency. And you'd be better to learn exactly what it is we're excited about and what it is that we're doing. Now, has Richard taught us a million things that has changed our mindset and put us in the right direction? Yes, he has. And has he built something that we can all get behind and not have to worry about failing and faltering? Yes, he has. That's what he's done, and that's the props he gets. And that's the passion he gets from all of us. It's because he's done something good. It's not, because he's quirky and we like when he fights people. All that's fun and stuff. That's cherry on top. But, it's about what he's done, what he's put together, and the message, the tenets behind it. We're about a real cryptocurrency community. We're about really building things on top of good, solid technology that can take the world into the future. Hex is going to take the world into a new future of finance. With Pulse Chain coming, there's no stopping it. That's all we needed was tracks to run on. See, Hex was already the vehicle. Now it just needed a road to run on. And now Richard made that for it. And that was the easy part. See, the Hex was the hard part. Figuring out Hex and then a lot of things falling into place. Look, either Richard is a brilliant mad genius or he got lucky a couple of times and he's a genius. Because there are a couple of things in Hex that are just too coincidental for it to be not thought out. You know what I mean? It's like the shares and the rate of inflation, the interest payments, all of that system there. That system alone is Nobel Prize winning technology. What Kyle and Richard did, setting up the share rate, share price, inflation coming into the system, being restaked for years and years and years, the better inflation model of money, that alone is Nobel Prize winning. And it just seems like it was kind of happenstance too, because I know that there was a gentleman by the name of I don't want to dox him, but he's an OG, and he was in the chat rooms, and they were talking about setting up interest as kind of regular interest. And he got in the chat room and said, "You guys go ahead and stake your 555. I'm going to stake it every freaking 2 weeks, and I'm going to clean your guys' clock because I'm the one that's going to be eating up all the interest and dumping it on your heads while you're sitting there waiting for your 15-year stakes to come out." And that statement there within the chat rooms made Dev Kyle and Richard go to the drawing board and drop the shares and figure out how to fix that mess, that problem. And, that was another 4 more months, it was another, let's move this thing on. But no, it was like, we had to go back and fix this. So there's things that Hex has done that just defy, other than divine intervention kind of stuff. This is going to change finance. Somebody just said, I'd say at least the next 8 to 10 years before the next big change in crypto after the Pulse launch. Are you talking about what I was saying happening? Look, I think that this is going to move at a hyper speed because the world needs Hex. For those of you who don't know, I've been hanging out with Gary Funding Jim at these financial events with a group of people called the Rebel Capitalists, and they consist of Jason Gammon, or George Gammon, Jason Hartman, Mark Moss, Ken McElroy, Robert Kiyosaki, Lizette Sang. A lot of these kind of prep for the coming of the end of money. Get yourself diversified into real estate and oil and gas and gold and real, all that kind of stuff. And very, very smart people in the financial world. They, to some extent, get it, but they all got up on stage at this last event, and everyone said the same things. And the same things are, we're screwed. The money system is screwed. The banking system is screwed. Our government systems are screwed. People don't have any more control. We need more control. Get yourself ready for the impending doom that's coming. Prepare by doing this. Prepare by doing this. And cryptocurrency. And literally, I just kept hearing cryptocurrency, but never an explanation. Never an in-depth talk about it. Never a full endorsement. Never, other than, yeah, you should get yourself a little bit of this Bitcoin stuff because they're all maxis. They just, and I know why. It has nothing to do with they like Bitcoin. It's that they don't like everything else. They want cryptocurrency to be the savior, but they just don't know that it's finally here. See, none of the other shit, they're right to call, they, one of the gentlemen got on stage and called cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin a scam, that he wouldn't touch any of them. He wouldn't invest in any of them. And I sat there, and at first, the first thing that I feel is fucking anger. So my head is shaking like, you just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So I'm sitting there in the front row shaking my head at him. And then I stopped myself and I said, wait a minute. This guy knows Bitcoin, but he doesn't speak about it in detail because he knows Bitcoin. Anybody who's worth their salt that understands it is not going to endorse it to a bunch of people that don't understand it. Scammers and people like Michael Saylor and all these other folks want you to buy the shit out of it so they can pump their bags. That's what they want. That's what they want you to do, is buy it so that you can pump their bags. That is it. Not because you can change the world with it. Not because it's going to help the world finance. Because it's going to pump their bags. And that's the most ingenuous or disingenuous fucking bullshit I troll Saylor on a daily basis because of the shit he says. The utter shit that flies out of that man's mouth is fucking disgusting. I can't believe that they even give him a platform to speak. If you want to pull somebody off of Twitter, pull that fucking jackass off of Twitter with all this bullshit that he spews out of his mouth on a daily basis, just running people over the fucking cliff, you know, and making cryptocurrency even a worse place to be spending your time and your effort and your energy. But again, he doesn't know anything else. Plus, he got into Bitcoin when it was 20, 30, 40 grand. So what kind of a thought leader is that? If you're following that, you're fucked already. So anyway, but these people are all screaming for a solution. And, you know, I thought for a moment, I was angry that they thought that altcoins were shit, but they were right. They were 100% right, because they didn't know Hex. Nobody knows Hex. Just a handful of us Hexicans understand and know Hex. Only a handful of us people who've been around for a long time. And I hate calling anybody an OG that's been around something for, 3 to 5 years. Shit, I got underwear that's 3 to 5 years old. You know what I mean? So forget about, calling people OGs. The last couple of years is really nothing, you know? But those of us who have been around, we know it. And there's very few that know Hex like we know Hex. But we're all fired up about it, and we understand it, and we're teaching the world about it. So we're doing all the right things. We're doing what a crypto community is supposed to do. However, we need to educate more, and we need to get out, and we need to extend the olive branches and all that, because so after these meetings, everybody there knew who I was and what I was there for. They know, oh, that's the fucking crazy Hex guy with the bandana on his head, and he's going to come over and shill Hex to you. So I realized that wasn't what I was supposed to do. I wasn't supposed to do that because that's what they were expecting. So I didn't. And before I knew it, the people that were there to see them were coming to me and saying, hey, we heard you're the Hex guy and we want to talk to you about Hex. And Gary's talked to us about you. And of course, Gary is there is no better person to have on your side for introductions. Gary will make you look like you're something really special. And that's what Gary was doing, was introducing me to people, and these people were asking me about Hex and what it meant and what it is, and that fired me up, and I was able to speak passionately to people about what Hex was and what it really meant, and what it's going to do for finance, and that it's the solution to all these problems. So all these people just got done listening to all them talk about problems and talk about what was going on out there and in the world and what they need to do to prepare. And then they'd say cryptocurrency, but they never really told them which one or why. And then I was actually sitting there explaining it to them and showing them, hey, this is the world's greatest inflation fucking model that will ever be seen. This is programmable money. It's programmed better than the dollar. It's programmed better than Bitcoin. See, that blew their minds. That blows people's fucking mind when you tell them that. And see, that's the real key to how Hex changes the world, is its inflation model. And I can't stress that enough. Take it, I don't have to have charts and a sharp mind and a young guy's acumen for fucking, all of your tech and shit. It's not me. I'm not that guy. I've been around a bunch of cycles and had my ass kicked by a bunch of them. I'm that fucking old bull in the fucking, in the arena that's had his shit kicked out of him. I've seen cycles. I've seen what money does. I've seen what hard work it takes. I've watched retirement plans go away. I've watched guys lose all their shit, and still be working, because of what the world has handed them, I've seen all that shit. And I don't look at charts, and I don't look at fucking financial, wizardry and all that bullshit, and I've never been that dude. I'm the guy just here trying to spit the truth to you guys, is that the world is changing. The cycle is here. We just went through a Great Depression, The The only thing that, and people, see, here's another thing. And if you read your history and look at shit, the Great Depression was so bad. I mean, people were giving their fucking kids away, man. Could you imagine having to give for those of you who are parents, I mean, it's crushing my heart right now thinking about that. Giving away your kids because, or husbands and wives splitting up because they can't afford to feed each other. And they think that they'd be doing better off if they just went out on their own. That was the kind of shit that was going on back then. You know, people were jumping out of fucking windows and crap. I mean, it was a really, really sad time. And you know what? They didn't print money back then. That was a big, big, big no-no. And so they didn't do it. But they used that tool this time to kind of put a freaking stop loss on the whole thing so that it didn't happen again. Because we couldn't, the world couldn't go through that shit again. Especially not now with the technology and the way things are. So, is inflation good? No, it's not. And not at the rate that they've done it. Of course not. It's not. But it did stop a disaster from occurring. Now, do we still have a big disaster on our hands? Hell yeah. But at least we got to get into higher ground as the flood. The flood's still here. The flood came, fucked everything up. But at least we got to get to higher ground by what they did. And again, I'm not endorsing it. But what I'm saying, it was kind of a necessary evil to stop what we had seen back in the 30s. And that was devastating for those folks. My grandfather's still alive, you know. He's fucked up to this day from that depression. They were eating grass sandwiches and shit. I mean, come on, there ain't no fucking kids out here these days eating grass sandwiches. Or their moms and dads giving them away. Shit ain't happening right now. So, you know, just think about that for a little bit. Look back in history a little bit. You know, the further back in history, the further into the future you're going to be able to see. And Winston Churchill said some shit like that. But that's the truth. There is nothing new under the sun, guys, and you guys have heard me say that many a times. There are no new scams. Everything's the same old scam. Everything's the same old thing. It's just recycled, repackaged, and put in a prettier bow put on top of it. How are you going to function in it? How are you going to function in it? Well, now that they've fucked up the money, now that they fucked things up for us, what's the savior? What's going to come fix it? Dollar's king. You ain't fucking replacing it with another currency. Bitcoin's crap. Bitcoin's garbage. It can't replace the dollar. Hex can. Hex can. Hex can do it. And it's going to suck up a lot of the world's financial energy. And now that it has Pulse Chain to ride on, you know, I don't know how much of this shit was nefarious. I'm really surprised and appalled that the Vitalik didn't fix his shit sooner. But Richard did. Richard fixed it. And one more reason for us to praise him and say, what a fucking great guy. What a good dude. He's really working hard. So how do we all repay him? We go out there and work hard too. We shill. We stand up and bang our chests and eat shit and bark at the moon and make Richard feel good about what he did. And anybody else out there who has anything to say about us, they're just talking into the wall. You know, they're just yelling into the fan, whatever you want to call it. They're just, this last one, we had this guy show up on our morning show with Ken and the fellas, and he came in and he tried to throw all the old fucking narratives out, the where's the ETH shit and everything, just another typical pleb. And then just recently he made a whole video the other day about, you know, the community. Now he comes after the community. And I feel sorry for all these folks because they're on the wrong side of history. They're on the wrong side of history. I'm on the right side of history. You guys in the chat room are on the right side of history. Hexicans are on the right side of history. We're doing the right things. We are actually the only viable cryptocurrency community that exists. Why? Because we have a real product that works, and we can go out and build things. I'll be in London in probably 2-3 more weeks. I think I have an Italy trip planned during that trip, so I'll be back and forth from London to Italy. I have meetings set up every day during that week different projects that are going on within, you know, the Hex community, things that are going to benefit Hexicans. And that's another thing I want to kind of throw out there. Look, I think I've earned most of the community's trust. Like Richard, there ain't nobody's ever gotten a bad fucking deal from RG3. I don't give a fuck who you are. Nobody's ever gotten a bad deal or a raw deal from me. Nobody's ever been beat down, kicked in the face, whatever, by me that didn't either deserve it or didn't have it coming or didn't do something to fuck with Hex. And other than that, I've been nothing but good and kind to Hexicans, even those that have crossed me. I've never spoke ill of them. I've only ghosted all of the haters. Even Clay, when he did his thing, I walked away from it and just let it be, and didn't try and kick that dead horse. But you know, I've never done anything to hurt this community, and everything that I bring to the table, everything that I shill, even the stuff that we've made, I don't come out here and shill it on a regular basis. I know that we're building tools to help Hexicans have better lives. And not all these tools and not all these things are going to be for everybody. And that's what I want, you know, people to understand is like these other things that are being built, like liquid loans and the other coin that's being built out there. They're not trying to hurt anybody, but there are features and functions to all these things that are not for everybody. And they have to be used with caution. They have to be used responsibly. So that's the thing that I worry about is the acumen and the maturity level of Hexicans. And I don't want anybody to go out and get hurt. And another thing, those of you who have actually made real money and real gains, you know, don't end up a lottery winner, you know. There's so many people that have lost everything they had after winning, you know, a 30, 40, 100, $200 million lottery ticket because they didn't manage their money properly. People came out of the woodwork and robbed from them, stole from them, made them make bad investments, those kinds of things. Secure yourself first and take care of your family and yourself and your money and save it for the long term. Because remember, this is a long game. We're playing the long game here. It's one of our tenets. You know, one of the things that Richard talks to us about is, hey, it's about delayed gratification. You know, and I know about delayed gratification. I've been delaying my gratification for many years, guys, and still haven't you know, cashed out and done anything crazy. Bought a watch or, you know, bought a fancy car or, you know, I mean, my wife and kids are in a safer, more secure car. Your typical, well, I would say it's a hot rod soccer mom car, but you know, I painted my house and put rain gutters on it, you know. Am I looking into the future at another property and better things? Of course, but we're not there yet. There's still work to be done, and everything that I've gained from my knowledge of cryptocurrency from this community has gone back into it. I have put all of my gains back into this community, back into building Discourse Syndicate, back into building the products that are going to support Hexicans in the future, back into, you know, chewing a better stream. As soon as somebody tells you guys start telling me it's time to hang it up, I'll just hang it up and let all you guys do it, because I'm telling you, I am so impressed with all these young people streaming nowadays, and you guys are all so good. No, I haven't got my Porsche yet. No, I haven't, Dorsey. Not going to yet either. That's going to be in the future when I have time to do it right and it happens. I'll treat myself, but I still got work to do. I think that the community deserves a little more work before I start playing. But Anyway, that's my commitment to the community. I'm going to continue to continue to build Discourse Syndicate to bring products and things that are going to help Hexicans. We're going to promote things that help Hexicans. I'm not going to disparage any of the other stuff that's out there. Like I said, I'm proud of all those guys for what they're doing, and because of Hex, they're able to do what they're doing. So my hat's off. I'm rooting for them. I really, really am. The jury is out. We'll see how everything goes. And everybody should do their own due diligence and keep an eye on these things and hold their feet to the fire. I mean, I think that they're ready, willing, and able to have the community do that. Anybody who is worth their salt, is going to say, yeah, go ahead. Freaking scrutinize me, vet me, validate me, check all of our stuff. We want to be something good for the community. So anyway, let me go into, let's see. Let me go into the chat room and see if I can answer a few questions. Let's see. Frosty Dog. Hey, what's up? When you raise your hand, your face gets blurry. Yeah, it has. What it does is it focuses on my hand, and then it has to do with the lens I have. It's like this big freaking giant. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you the aperture ratings and all that stuff, but we did set it up, and yeah. So anything that gets waved in front, or if I was to step back a little too far, it'll focus on the microphone or something. Anyway, it's just one of those things. That's what gives it the cool effect in the back. Spend our own money promoting Hex. Yes, as we should all do. That's what we should all be doing. That's how a cryptocurrency community is supposed to do it. It's no expectation of profit from the work of others, meaning we're the ones that are supposed to be expected to do the work. So I'm doing my share. I've put my blood, sweat, tears, and money into this whole time. For the whole 2 years, the Hex has been around, 2+ years that Hex has been around. I've been streaming, spitting out a spleen, backing you guys up, traveling the world, and building products behind it, and putting all my money back into the system. I say this all the time. Richard is the most brilliant motherfucker I know. He made me a shit ton of money, and then he made me give it all back to him. So everything that I've ever made, I've given back to Richard. He's got it all, man. So he did a really good job of that. Let's see. You kept trying. Now you've hit the big time. We all have stories like that. Yeah, man. I just kept, I call it failing forward. You never really fail, but you fall forward and you just get back up and you go do the next thing. You do the next indicated step and you just keep going. You don't let anything ever stop you. There's one thing that I'll tell you. RG3 might not be the smartest. He might not be the strongest. He might not be the fastest. He might not be the biggest expert in this and the biggest expert in that. But I'll tell you one motherfucking thing. You will never, ever, ever outwork me. You cannot outwork me. I will fucking die before I will let somebody outwork me. That's what I will do. Like if we were in a work contest, I will be, you will quit or I will die. That's how it will go. So anyway, yes, failing forward. Let's see. Minimize that chat. Smash the likes. Yeah, smash the likes. Frosty, how do you do it with all the beautiful women out there? Yes, Puerto Rico, baby, Puerto Rico. Early adopters are okay with slow learners. Some will figure it out. True that. Richard's awareness of the current as well as past reality is crystal fucking clear. He sees far more than we know. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think he has a lot more control of the things than we know. That's just my opinion. He just seems to be too good at his job. Let's see. Hexicans OG need to fund a fiat ramp in Singapore. There are things going on in the background that can make that happen. Gary is the man. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. If you're not watching Funding Jim stuff, go to Funding Jim on YouTube and go check him out. That man is working his ass off too for you guys. He's having a really, really good time, but he is working hard. Every time I run into him in another country, he is having a really, really good time, just to let you guys know. So don't feel sorry for Gary out there, the nomad that he is. He's having a really, really good time. All right. So this is more about the monetary issues as the world is spiritually bankrupt, and Richard knows this. It's more about the monetary issues as the world is spiritually bankrupt. I don't know if the world is spiritually bankrupt. I don't think the world has ever, changed in that way, to be honest. I think you have your people that are spiritual and your people that are not. And you have people that are spiritual that sometimes act like they're not. And sometimes people that aren't spiritual that turn spiritual. I think you've always had a good mix of all of it. All this crap about, the morality of everything's so bad. No, motherfuckers have been eating and raping and pillaging and burning and fucking killing things forever, people. There's no difference. There's no fucking difference. We just change the stories is all. Now all of a sudden everybody's outraged about some of this and some of that. Shit's people been fucking raping and doing crap for their whole. Nothing's changed. There's nothing new under the sun. Human beings are human beings. We just have better tools to do things with. Okay. Anyway, I got my registration link for MCA webinar on the 2nd of February. Boom. Very good, Crypto King. Thanks. You will not be disappointed. We must give as much as we take, if not more so. We must give as much as we take, if not more so. Yes, I agree. I agree 100% that you should be giving. Too much is given, much is expected. Got your Porsche yet? No, I will make a big deal out of that when it does happen. Pulse will take off with a fiat ramp only. It'll get one. I'm positive it'll get one. Let's see. We are all entitled to experience the luxurious material things in this realm, and we should all be able to firstly have our basic needs met and enjoy fancy shit as well. All of us with balance. Yes. Walk in balance, my friend. Let's see. I got my flex plate. Got to find another car to match. I gave up all the plate things a long time ago. I was in a couple of other marketing opportunities, and I did the plate thing, and I don't know. I didn't want to do any plates, so I left all that alone. So good for you guys who got plates. Pulse chain and hex are going to be so big. How big? Big. Hex and pulse chain are going to be big. That's how big they're going to be. Hexican OGs who are now millionaires from Q1 2020 could start up a fiat ramp like Paxos in Singapore. That will pump Pulse and remove us from ETH entirely. A lot of people talking about the on-ramp. Or is that the same person? Yes, I agree. I do agree that is like the biggest problem that will need to be fixed. But hey, once we have Pulse, it's going to be an easy road to that. So just be the actions speak much lindier than words. You that cap. I'm sorry I couldn't read all that, but it sounds like a compliment and you got a wink there, so I appreciate that. Thank you. They're going to be a fiat on-ramp for Pulse Chain. We're talking about it. I think it's going to happen. I do think it's going to happen. You can help them all because there is no light in darkness. You can't help them all because, yeah, you're right. Staker app was saying they would have a direct fiat on-ramp. Everybody's trying. There's a lot of regulatory involved. When RG3 speaks in third person, you know he means it 100%. Listen up. I think that is a sign of some kind of a strange complex going on. I've never spoke in the third person, but we have these strange, odd nicknames, and sometimes you speak about yourself and your persona, I guess, in this. But yeah, let's see. DCC, also a hardworking mofo too. Yes, dollar cost crypto, my good old buddy, is definitely out there busting his ass in the crypto world, trying to make things better. Thanks for reading my thoughts there, Captain Richard. He is pure heart. He's a good dude, man. You know, I got to spend a couple of evenings with him when I was in London the last time, and you know, one night we were at the big event to hang out there. We had a small lunch one time with him and some fashion folks and his friends, and just about 3 or 4 of us, and got to hang out and just really like Richard and who he is and the type of guy that he is at heart, I guess you can say, when you really get down to the brass tacks and talk to him. Captain, I like the background. You are salt of the earth, brother. Oh man, thanks, Space Case. That is cool. I love being called that, because I use that as a term of endearment to people that I think are just good people. Ask Richard about spiritually bankrupt, Cap. I don't think that that's one of the areas that Richard I need schooled in. I have my own faith and my own depth in that I've spent my whole life in. I'm Native American. My family goes back thousands and thousands of years here. Our spirituality is deep. I don't share that with too many people, but I am deeply immersed in my faith, and I believe that everything is sacred, and the whole world is connected and related, and there is nothing lesser, nothing greater, and that each one of you, every human being, makes a difference. That's my philosophy, and it goes a lot deeper than that, but that's the basics of it. Let's see. Oh, yes, there's a new woke culture. Now the past is evil. Yeah, right? No, it's the same. It never changes. It never changes. We just got to try and make good where we're at. Those stoner truckers should just take a jab, huh, RG3? No, I think everybody, to each their own on all that stuff, man. And whether they're stoner truckers or straight truckers or, whatever truckers, everybody's got their own choice in this thing. And, I ain't for telling people what to do, man. I ain't for telling people what to do. So, yeah, that's your prerogative. I think we need to oh God, please stop it. Where I live, I never took a jab. 80% of the population did. All the C people are jabbed, and the 3 of us at my work who didn't have never caught it. Yeah, whatever, man. That's not in general. I mean, sure, that's, some people took the jab and got it. Some people didn't take the jab and got it. Some people got sick for a day. Wasn't no big deal. And some people died. And I just lost a cousin a few weeks ago who was a very healthy, young, Marine police officer. Didn't take the jab, got COVID, died. So, I mourn for my cousin, but I don't think that there was anything that could have been, done differently with mandates or anything else. I mean, it's just everybody has to be smart in their own way, and take care of themselves. I mean, a pandemic comes, first thing you should do is start taking care of your health and becoming very, very healthy and protecting yourself and your family, and making that decision whether you trust a jab or not. I mean, everybody's got to do their own stuff. Houston was a blast hanging out and educating folks on Hex. Thank you for the inspiration, brother. Danny, what's up, dude? Yes, man. Oh, dude, this guy here. Now, when you talk about salts of the earth, so Danny the singer, when we went out to Houston, he's a Hexican, straight up, like purebred Hexican. Salt of the earth. When they made Danny, they broke the mold, and he is just he opened his home up to me and Gary and our guests. They fed us, let us stay at his beautiful home that, hanging out. We got to share stories and hear his singing. Man, just what a good dude, man. Spent the whole weekend hanging out with Danny and his beautiful family, and what an awesome guy. So if you guys want to go out there and give Danny a shout out, that's one Hexican you might want to get to know. Yeah. Yes, there's light and darkness. Find your light in your dark, and your dark in your light, and align with it. Yeah, sure, man. That sounds absolutely awesome. This is the first time I have been able to catch you live. Oh, hey, well, thank you, Satan's Angel. It's really nice to catch me here live. I haven't been live streaming. This is kind of like my first attempt to do this new show on Mondays. Is going to be chatting with the captain. We have some awesome guests coming. I have a new assistant hired who is going to take care of the schedule. We've hired professionals to help get the studio together. Now we just got to get the streaming thing down. And Joker, who rescued me this evening and fixed my audio, he's going to be helping us too, because he is now our operations guy. So this thing's going to get better. It's going to get better. We're going to start doing a lot more interviews. We're going to start bringing fiat people in, and really trying to pump up the value of getting out. So Discourse Syndicate wants to look, we love the Hexicans. We fucking love you guys. You guys made us. You guys brought us to the world. But now it's time for us to expand and take the show out to the real world. Not that you guys aren't the real world. I'm saying all the wrong things. Take it out to those who don't know. The message needs to be spread to. And we want you guys to help us do that. So anything you can do to support the channel, support bringing guests on. You guys can call me, DM me, hook me up, Ken up, Joker, any of us, get to us with these guests. We've got some real exciting guests coming, and we've got some really cool stuff going on with the documentary. It's gonna be awesome. We're stepping up our game, guys. We're stepping up our game. Let's see. What's up, Trey? Said just chilling, listening tonight. Thanks. Fair enough, brother. I am Aboriginal Australian, and we're the same page. Much love to you, Cap. Oh man, Miramali. Okay, Marumali. Man, I really one of these days want to get out to Australia and be involved in some Aboriginal culture, partying. Man, that's what, so. In America, you know, we have a lot of subcultures, and I guess the typical American culture, you know, it has its holidays and it has its partying and all these other things. But when it comes to like Indian culture, when it comes to Native cultures, there's a deeper kind of like party atmosphere that goes on. And I love being involved in that stuff. And you know what, and even in you know, I guess it's California that's really horrible at it. We're such a mixing pot of a lot of different things, so you get to experience little bits here and there. But I just love other cultures and their get-togethers and their parties and their fun and their ceremonies and all these things. I just I love that stuff. So one of these days, hopefully, I can get out there to the Outback and really get to see who the real people are out there. Let's see. My plate is more of an investment. Sure, man. Let's see. Shit's real. I'm so sorry, RG. I don't know what you're saying sorry for, but yeah. Maybe it was my careful of topics on YouTube. I know. Yeah, I know. I try not to, but anyway. Awesome rebound, Calvin. Thank you, Joker. Love the whole TS crew. Junior, USMC. Hey, Semper Fi, brother. Semper Fi. RG3, any comics when you think the hex price will go back to all-time highs? Okay, so my thought process on this, not soon enough. Is all I can say. No, it's coming, guys. How long have we been down like this? If you look at the charts, and again, I'm kind of just said a minute ago, I don't need no charts. Charts, I believe, are good for, you know, the metadata that can explain long-term trends, or can give you a look back into the past and what the future can look like. And right now, what is happening is Hex hit all-time highs. And usually when something hits all-time highs, and then dips. It scams out. It goes to nothing, and it stays flat. Hex has been doing this, what they call the bull flag formation. It's like this monster bull flag formation, which means it's moving. People are getting involved, and then people are selling off, and it's moving, and people are getting involved, and it's selling off. And that is consolidating into smaller and smaller and smaller areas now, showing that people are exhausted with the trading. But the price isn't dumping. So the trading is exhausting. So people don't want to sell it for less than it is right now. So what is it, 17 cents, 18 cents? People are exhausted. I'm not selling it for any cheaper than that. You know, there's a few sell-offs every now and then. Somebody gets a stake out and they just need the money or whatever. So what's unique about Hex is that we have the staking mechanism that's going to make that happen. But I think we're consolidated, guys. I think we are consolidated. And when this thing pops, hold on to your fucking seats, guys. Hold on to your seats. This next all-time high is going to blow your minds. So many millionaires are going to be made, and you're probably sitting there in a chat room right now. You are going to become millionaires more than likely if you're sitting on a nice big bag of Hex. So anyway, you need a Jamie like Joe Rogan. Fucking hey, I do. Hell yeah. I got to meet him. I got to meet Jamie and Joe. I was on their show one time. Well, I wasn't on the show. I was there with my sister. But see, bring the fiat people in on hit the like button. Hey RG, you think whales are manipulating the price until the last days of PulseX SAC to acquire as much Hex? I think Hex will pump final days of SAC if history repeats itself like Pulse Chain SAC. Very good, Nicholas. Very good. You're being observant and you're realizing that there is nothing new under the sun. Now, I don't think that the whales are nefarious. I think that the whales are in it for the whales, and they should be. They make significant moves. They make things happen, and so far, all of our whales have been good custodians. So we don't always like what they've done at first, but usually it's always better for the ecosystem, and it always works out for us in the long run. We've got good people with good philosophies behind us. So, yeah. Surf is great there. Yes. Yes. You have a beautiful vibration, Cap. I look forward to your next live as long as the YouTube algorithm don't fuck me over. I'll be watching you again. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. I like the beautiful vibe thing. Thank you. Thank you. There are times when don't ever mistake kindness for weakness is one of the things I always say, because the captain does have horns. But anyway, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah. Endo is right there also. Yeah, great job, fam. The world is hearing us, but we can be louder. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Get out and do something. If you're a look, now not everybody has to get involved. I'm not saying everybody needs involved, but the more to get involved, the better. And who knows, you might be the one that makes Hex go viral. You might be the one that changes everything. You might be the one that creates a stream that brings the person on that makes Hex go viral. You know, we never know. That's why I built Discourse Syndicate, was to get as many people in front of this as possible so that we can get that viral event. You know, I knew I wasn't the best streamer. I knew that I was just going to be the one that was going to make sure that everybody else was streaming, and we were going to find the right streamers one day. I mean, there's a gal that she just started her YouTube stream not like before PulseX launch camp. She's like gets 20,000 views per video. I don't think I have 20,000 total views on any of my videos. Those are garbage, you know. So, but these people are doing great. They're killing it out there. So that's what we need, is more people like you going out there and doing it. I hope that the documentary breaks that barrier we're struggling to get through with the rest of the crypto community. Yeah, man, I think the documentary, you guys are going to see a different side of me in the documentary, that's for sure. I'm a brand new Hexican. Thanks for your knowledge and honesty. Oh, man, you're welcome, MJ Money. Love to party with you someday, Cap. Tribal Star, brother. Yeah, 49. We call them 49s out here. Anyway, yeah, man, let's go. Love the Hex Prize chat. To be honest, it's been down too long. But just remember, so just like a bow, it's been drawn back, right? It's been drawn back and drawn back. And right now what we're seeing is that drawback to where it's the sell pressure and it's exhausted. The selling is exhausted right now. Look at the chart. Just look where you could just look at that chart and go, man, this thing's freaking exhausted. It's just laying right where it's supposed to. And what's going to happen is Hex is on a trajectory like this. And when that bow releases, man, freaking watch out, baby. Watch out. Let's see. There's simply less buying to maintain SAC ranking. It's sideways until SAC ends for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of theory in that, I guess. But we'll see. It all depends on what the whales are doing, right? I mean, people are coming in every day. We're seeing people buy every day. Just big money, big buys. And those people calculate and watch and move at certain times in their own time. So let's see. You're welcome. I appreciate you if you serve. Thank you for your service. Yes, I did serve. I was a United States Marine. Yes. We need some RGTA. Oh man, I know. I've been wanting to do some TA, and update the Hexzilla. See, hi everybody. Hey Sid, what's up? What do you think the next all-time high might be? I think we can see that in the next few months. I don't see why we shouldn't see all-time highs in the next few months. Do you think RH could get on Joe Rogan? I think so. Did you shill Hex to Joe Rogan? Yes, I did. I did shill Hex to Jamie and his crew, and we talked about it briefly. But this was before Big Payday. This was literally the day that the big C broke and California shut down. The day of the first shutdown. I was literally at their studio. And we left, and we couldn't even get in a restaurant. They had closed everything off. Like, Joe didn't even have his studio shut down or anything. It happened right while I was there. How's it going, RG? I can remember when we were waiting for Hex to break above a penny. Damn right, Crypto CPT. Hey, what's happening, homie? How you doing, bud? Yeah, man, I remember we were waiting for that penny too, and here we are, 17 cents and complaining about it being in a dip, right? If Rogan will fund the fight and security for RH, then if Rogan will fund the flight and security for RH, then yes. I like this one. Lantern Chat, smooth, great setup. Thanks, nice vibe. Thanks, man. Yeah, these are my this is my pirate setup so far. We got some more things coming, some more things that we're gonna do to it, but anything we can do. Let's see. Rogan doesn't fund any of his guests. No, he doesn't. Getting out there, Richard turned down, funded or not, would be a smart move. We're trying. Captain Your Shoe, taking Qualia products. So I don't want to endorse anything, but yes, I do. I take the Qualia Mind products. And in fact, I take all their stuff. The only thing that I stopped taking was their caffeine energy drinks. So the captain was a big fan of caffeine. And as some of you know, I went through a detox. I cleansed myself. I did a 21-day detox, and it turned into a habit. And I have not had caffeine in over 60 days. But yes, I am taking the Qualia products, all the stuff that doesn't have caffeine. Brace who we are, educate others, and be fucking proud. Yes. Love the leadership, Captain. We are never going away. Man, K4K. Bro, you are one of those guys, man. I am so impressed with, now, you've said a couple of things that were wrong, or that were, a miss. Let's just say a miss. But I love you. You have freaking awesome content. You are killing it out there, and people love you. So all the people I talk to, K4K, they dig you, man, and I dig you too. So good job. Keep going. Can barely hear you. Maybe I need that. But K4K, you're the man. Good job out there, bro. Who else is here? Bitcoiners walk the plank. Make those Bitcoiners walk the plank. Hell yeah. Appreciate your service. Thank you. Want to see the Hex race car win so bad. Oh man, wouldn't that be something else if it did? Oh man, talk about face plant right there, right? What a brilliant live stream this is. Making my heart smile. Much love to you all here. Damn, man, you're a good dude, man. I appreciate the kind words. Man, I wish I'd been here before a penny. Careful what you wish for. Just kidding, man. Just kidding. But yeah, it was tough days though, man. It was tough days. There was nobody backing us up. There was no big giant community. It was just us eating shit and barking at the moon and yelling and screaming and getting, kicked. Kick up the volume. You know what? Let me pop that up a little bit. And is it clipping now, or is that a little bit better? We'll see. Any comments on Overwatch and what they can potentially do for the Hex ecosystem? You know what? Rack and I are good friends, and I won't speak about personal things that he and I have going on. But he's a good man, and he has good intentions for Hex and the Hex community, and his investments and the people that are invested with them. So they're smart, they know what they're doing, and he's a good man. So that's what I can tell you about all that. I can tell you also that, being in the back, behind the scenes, there are a lot of whales. There are a lot of Hexicans that are working on projects that have a lot of money coming in. So there's a lot of sidelines money that's coming into this thing. I talked to a lot of people with a lot of money. In fact, Gary and I, when we were out, and we onboarded close to 20 people. Well, I'll say, on my own, I did that. There was about probably 10 or so, just kind of like crypto guys that already had MetaMask wallets that wanted to get some Hex, that traded something for Hex and got Hex at the Rebel Capitals event. But then there was 10 larger investors that got in at the 50,000 and above level. So we had 10 people that got in while I was there. One of them, he actually put in, he's entered about 300,000 now. So I watched him get in. I watched another guy get in at 150K. And we had a bunch more get in at about 50 to 100K each. So there was 20 people got onboarded solid, during that event. So, we're out there doing the work, guys. Perfect sound now, but oh, great. Maybe I turned it up to the right, bit more volume, please. Rack is going to do what Rack is going to do, which is all good. Dorsey, you're 100% correctamundo. Correctamundo. Hey, Inviting Freedom, how's it going? I love me some Inviting Freedom. She is good people, and I'm glad she's well. We knew she was sick for a little bit. Let's see if I can crank it up just a little bit more there. Maybe that'll help. Hopefully I'm not blowing anybody's ears out. So, hey, I made it through the chat. I made it through the whole chat. That's cool. I feel like I have accomplished something. I've never done that before, like just rolled through the chat and just talked to you guys. I hope that was worth it. But I did want to say, Will, thank you for the 10 USD. And I did kick up the volume for you. Appreciate that. We always appreciate any little bit. And $9.99 for my buddy Toby Wan. I was always good with Rackham, but I defended Dev Kyle when he went after him on Twitter, and he told me off and blocked me. Tell him I still love him. I'll let him know. I will let him know that you said something, Toby. Toby's a good man, and so is Rack. That's what I don't understand. We all have, differing opinions and things. Like even Toby and I had a different of opinion one time, and we decided we needed to sit down and talk about it, and we did, and we sat down and talked about it. And what I found in those situations, in my younger days when I was a young man, it always went to the ground. You know what I mean? It was one of those situations where disagreements turned into that. But that was just Marine Corps culture and growing up in the streets and all that shit that created that in my life. But now what I find is that when you do sit down and listen to one another, that you find out and you realize that 90% of the shit that you guys all believe in, you're on the same level. You want good things for your family. You want good things for others. You want people to have freedom. You want people to be able to choose what they do with their lives. And you want people to be safe. We all want that stuff, you know? And it's only about 10% of the bullshit. Usually it revolves around politics, sports, or religion. And that little 10% of bullshit really doesn't matter because it's all speculation. You know, it's all minutia. It all doesn't really matter. But the 90% of the meat and potatoes that we all agree upon is really how you should look at another human being and how you should react with another human being. You know, if I would have let me and Toby and our relationship just disintegrate after one little argument, you know, fuck you, no, fuck you, then I wouldn't have the good friend I have in him. You know, he's a hardworking man who cares about his family. He's working hard for his family. And that's the kind of people that I want in my life. That's the kind of people that I want to spend time with. That's the kind of people that I want my kids around. That's the kind of people that I want to make an example of for the rest of the world. You know, we need people like Toby around. And what good would it have done if I'd have blocked him and said, fuck that guy? You know, there's very few times that I've ever had to do that. And that's just to teach people a lesson, really, like, hey, I don't want that kind of toxicity around me. Every once in a while, somebody just gets really, really toxic. And sometimes you have to cut them out. And I've only had to done that a few times. But anyway, let's see. That true around the world. Satan's Angel. I love your name, dude. Unless you're a girl. That would even be better. We are more alike than different. Yes, Will, we are. We are all exactly more alike than we are different. So, yes, very good observation. Nothing wrong with a fight and a beer afterwards. I miss those days. Yeah, man. Yeah, I kind of do. But these days, see, you know, a good old fight, you know, even getting hit with a bottle or something or whatever, a pool stick, or, you know, getting your teeth kicked in by somebody's combat boots or whatever, that, you know, it didn't hurt so bad then. Now I turn my fucking head the wrong way and the shit hurts. I'm not into that stuff anymore. I used to love it, thrive, lived off it. Oh, it was great. I love it. Pain, beat. Oh, so great. And have a beer afterwards. Not no more, man. Shit don't heal right no more. It's us. Those days are long gone, man. Those are, yeah. Let's see. That's why we used to have smokers. Yeah, we call it smokers. Marine Corps. We have these monster freaking gloves that like you'll barely get, and they put these big gloves on so that you'll get too tired too fast. You know, and these gloves are so freaking heavy. I forget how many ounces they are. Ridiculously heavy. And you go in there, and by the time you get 2 rounds and you can't swing anymore, you know? So yeah, that was smoking. Right back at you, Captain. Toby says, the best friendships overcome adversity. Much love and respect to you and yours always. Thanks, Toby. I feel the same way about you, buddy. Sorry, I'm a dude, but I know what you mean. Yeah, you should let me just think about it for a while. Bitcoin Beefy in the house. Got the hex stickers on the car over the weekend. Honk if you hex. Nice. I think something's wrong with your audio maybe on this video. Only might be right speaker won't put out any noise. I just checked it against other YouTube videos and it's fine. Maybe I'm the only one. Oh, there's a few people out there having problems. I'm gonna have to double check my setup. I got a guy coming back over again. He's gonna go over it again. And I apologize again for calling you a rage tart. No, I am a rage tart. Could be one on my end, however it sounds, blah, blah, blah. That happens when you're in your 50s, aches and pains. Yes, it does. It does. I went and took a test and I can only turn my neck 25% to this side. I didn't even ever realize that. I had this physical day and I was turning my neck and like, oh, yep, you have no motion on this side. I was wondering, why the hell, like, did they make a left lane change? I'm like, why the hell are these windows so screwed up nowadays? I can't see out of them anymore. It's because I have to literally do this to turn around because I can't just turn my neck to see. That's messed up. And I just realized that today. It's like, oh crap, I can only turn my neck like this way. I can go fine, and then bink, it stops right there. It's like, darn it. Anyway, getting old sucks, and it ain't for pussies. That's for sure. Getting old is not for pussies. So if you're a pussy, you don't want to get old. All right. If anyone smells anything, I promise. Oh, you got me to read it. That's cool. 18 cents. Nice, Meltoni. It might be mono stereo confused setting that I don't understand either. I'll double check it. I'll have Joker come in and check it for me. But anyway, all right, guys. The pirate pump. Yeah, are we getting a little pirate pump? I remember we used to DS. We used to always have a pump when we'd stream. We always had a DS pump. You need to do butt naked yoga. Yeah. Is there butt naked yoga? I heard there was high yoga, but I'll tell you what, I'll do some butt naked yoga. They'll probably kick me out though. And yeah. Anyway, it's tough being an old guy because young guys, you guys can get away with stuff like that. Me, they'd fucking haul me off, you know? Get this old pervert out of here. Anyway. All right, guys. I am going to, you're welcome for the stream, Mel. You're welcome. I am going to cut it off. Next week, I should have a guest. Our first week of kind of like the real chatting with the captain. If not, I'm always going to come up, and my Monday nights are going to be dedicated to bettering my stream, bettering my content, coming to you guys real, trying to bring you guys wisdom, knowledge, and experience in this space, in finance, whatever I can do to help. That's what I'm here for. Let's go build this thing. You guys take care. Appreciate you all. Let's see if I can do. Let's see if I can do this without fucking up. Hold on a second.